Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Sileo, Tales of a New Dawn. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newest version earlier, then you can go to their Patreon. $5 a month, $54 a year. So, on the last Let's Play, we were looking for Ty, and we went to Lucas to ask for advice. And I had it wrong because I was like, oh, he's could be at that one lookout place in the woods, but it's like, actually, no, it's this other lookout place in the woods where I think he went when his grandma died. Or no, yeah, his grandma died. And then, it's his spot. Then, found out about it, came here. Or remembered it. Good thing there wasn't some kind of multiple choice thing at the end. Just saying. It was beneath the tree that Ty sat, strumming each chord with ease. Expected it of a professional guitar player, with every note of his melody ringing clearly through the gentle fall breeze. I quickly found myself captivated by his performance and the sorrowful beauty of his somber symphony, frozen in awe as his lyrics ensnared me. I would not interrupt, and would enjoy the music, waiting until the conclusion before making my presence known. He severed the roots and said goodbye. Hey, don't make me sing. He turned his back and walked away. Time again these tears I dry. The memory haunts me to this day. It sounds as though he had written a song about his relationship with Apollo. Things had ended suddenly, and while the two were still deeply in love with one another, I could not imagine the pain being forced apart by circumstances like that. The way Apollo had spoken about Ty, and his actions he took to bring him happiness, even so long after the two went their separate ways. These things told me how special a bond the two of them shared, and how tragic it was that things came to such an unexpected end. What becomes of the broken-hearted? I'm trying to sing what little survived of my many mishaps, my countless mistakes. I don't know. Give me a break. I don't know how to sing, and also, how am I supposed to... What is the cadence, I guess? What remains of the man I was before we parted? I only wish to make things right, no matter what it takes. Ty's song was full of regrets for the mistakes he had made, though this invoked a confusion within me. Nothing that Apollo had told me about their relationship suggested any wrongdoing on Ty's part. Was there something Apollo had neglected to tell me? He's singing out at you, dumbass. A new light dawns, a smiling face. Okay, maybe I was wrong. I don't know. A surprise encounter that dried my tears. He led me away from that sorrowful place before he fell victim to unfound tears. The next verse spoke of a new dawn, like the game, of someone's arrival that helped to dry Ty's tears and leave his sorrows behind. That person was me. He was singing those beautiful words about me. An apology made, a heartfelt plea, a tearful hug, and a brand new start. For unnumbered days we found such glee before we two would come part. He now sang of our parting, and that new dawn light so quickly extinguished made me feel the pain in his words, and it was a pain that was mutual. I would so badly step in to interrupt the trajectory of the song, to avert the heartbreaking conclusion. But interrupting the song would change nothing. It was a ballad that told a factual tale, and one I'd come here to change. If I changed reality, so too would the song change with it. I only hoped such a thing would be possible. Like a fool, his love I lost, undisclosed, his trust betrayed. I kept my secrets at all costs. costs I would have to pay. Also, Ty has this really thick accent. Ty. He severed the roots and said goodbye. He turned his back and walked away. Time again these tears I dry. The memory haunts me to this day. What becomes of the broken-hearted? What little survived my many missteps, my countless mistakes? What remains of a man I was before we parted? And still I wish to make things right, no matter what it takes. I do too, Ty, no matter what it takes. This foolish man, his heart it aches, carries the burden of many regrets. Sorry, I both have reading yawns, but also I did work out today and also have blood loss, blood donation. Though learn we did from those careless mistakes, his sorrow he cannot. I need to think the words. The music ceased as Ty released the labored sigh and slumped shoulders. He then reached over, lifting the guitar strap from the ground, around his neck, and gently placed the guitar against the tree he had been sitting against, and disappeared into nothingness. Finally, he climbed to his feet and turned towards the familiar town, nestled among the towering mountains in the distance. It was almost like seeing a painting in real life, as its lakes gently glistened in the smoothing afternoon sun. I remember being at sea and seeing water so absolutely still, it looked like glass. It was amazing, but also it was hot because it was Texas Gulf Coast summer and it sucked. Ty reached upward and brushed the tears away, using the ball of his thumb as he sadly surveyed his kingdom. I knew now was the time to approach him, but I struggled on account of my fraught nerves. It was a big moment, one whose outcome would decide the trajectory of my future, that my future would take. And so, too, would it inform the end... Would it inform? The ending of Ty's profoundly sad, yet unimaginable, beautiful ballad. Not only did his words remind me of the pain I felt, but they perfectly conveyed his own as well. I did not want to feel this way, but even more so, I did not want Ty to continue feeling this way. Feeling his pain gave rise to a bitter feedback loop, and before long, I cast my feelings by the side, only his desire to mend Ty's broken heart. I began my approach, the gentle wind barely concealing the sound of my footsteps, as I watched him dry his tears once again, his magnificent, violent eyes no doubt glistening in the sunlight. And finally, I arrived, standing mere feet behind him. I plucked up my courage, and finally spoke. That was beautiful, Ty. Adrian? My goodness, how long have you... You were already playing when I arrived, but I feel like I heard almost all of it. I'm glad I did. It was one hell of a song. It will not be if I cannot perform it. That last verse is incomplete, but I simply cannot bring myself to sing those words. It's a bitter conclusion, and perhaps my wounds are still too raw. Expressing yourself through music is such a great way to process what you're feeling, and the intense emotions you... for fuck's sakes, reading yawns. Give me a break. But it's only reading out loud yawns. I don't know why. And those emotions have inspired many amazing masterpieces. This song of yours is well on track to become one. Thank you for the vote of confidence, Adrian. My chosen subject does not make you uncomfortable, does it? If it does, I'll happily think of something else. Not all. And even if it did, it would be such a horrific crime to rob such an incredible piece of art of its muse. I could never do that. You flatter me so, though I'm pleased to receive such a positive feedback. To say that the writing of this song is fuck. Seriously, I would have coffee, but it's like almost 8 o'clock at night. To say that writing the song has been laborious would be quite the understatement indeed. Initially, I planned to make something more akin to the earlier material, to show that the new Black Claws still have venom in the fangs. I sat down to write it before I knew it. I had half the ballad composed. Perhaps that venom truly has run dry? I lacked the anger that once felt fueled my contributions to our earlier works. The rebellious streak, which was far more than merely hot air. I walked the walk, and proudly, I might add. These days, my idea of rebellion is staying up like an hour later at night. Never mind, sorry. I had to put it something very milquetoast, I guess would be the word. My idea of rebellion is to prepare my morning coffee by pouring boiling water instead of milk first. Okay, I wasn't wrong. And all that makes me wonder if we are truly bad guys. The bad guys in this situation. What is it you mean? Oh, and I had that thing turned towards me. I was trying to get the time to do that. What do you mean, if we are truly bad guys? What are you talking about? Good point. The Black Claws were a punk band at the outset, and we released several albums worth of songs in that style. But after last-minute inclusion of our second album became the mainstream breakthrough, Lucas and I got a first taste of commercial viability, and began a relentless pursuit. I'm gonna reset my face. We reasoned that we no longer wanted to play the faster and more aggressive music our listeners had known us for until that point. And that was at least somewhat true. But that night Glenn visited us. He called us sellouts. Suggested he was the only one still bearing our old flag. He suggested we were the root of the band's problems, that we had betrayed artistic integrity in pursuit of some fleeting dream of fame and fortune. And the more I think about it, the more I see he has a point. He might even be right, even when I actively try to make something like your older material. I end up writing another sappy ballad instead. That is not what the Black Claws were about. This is not the band we started all those years ago, so maybe it would be fairest if we simply surrender the name to Glenn, and he can pick up from where he left off and correct the band's musical trajectory. We can find a new name, a title for our new style and sound. We can let our music do the talking for us, and if we do well enough, we'll hopefully forge ourselves a new following. What do you think, Adrian? I don't feel like that's a bad idea. Just saying. We are formerly the Black Claws, kind of, but now we're, I don't know, the Tiger Stripes? I think that you're forgetting that the band was niche until the stylistic shift took place. The Black Claws fan base is more your fan base, and they want your music, not Glenn's. And between yourself and Lucas, you are the majority, and the name should be yours to keep. I mean, it's whatever you guys want. I don't care. Is it truly worth a hassle for such a silly name? Lucas and I had gone out of the music business because of all the drama and struggles. We cannot have even played our show yet. We have not even played our show yet, and seems we have already fallen right back into it. This was not what this was about. And what does that sound? I hear like a whistling sound. Like creaking? No. And Glenn is to blame for all that. He dragged you both back in. When they thought he was out, he'll drag him back in. And after the way he spoke to you guys and put you down, he deserves a good whipping. Don't tell me you wouldn't like to wipe that smug grin off his face. Stupid face? I suppose that could be enjoyable, and he dearly needs some discipline. Exactly. So don't go getting cold feet about all that now. You've got Jay on the 4th string. 4th string? 4th string? I guess that's a music thing. And a seriously incredible new song. You have this in the bag. I cannot say I expected you to show up so suddenly and deliver a pep talk, but it was just what I needed when I needed it. Thank you, Adrian. But I must ask, to what do I owe the pleasure? Well, I had gotten sidetracked with our previous conversation, and perhaps it was a deliberate attempt to put off the more difficult conversation that was yet to come. I knew this conversation had to happen. There was no sense delaying it any further. Hidden from sight behind my back, I produced a bottle of whiskey, which was still held in its same brown paper bag. With the long journey it had endured, the bag had accumulated several small rips and tears and looked rather worse for wear. Thankfully, the contents were unscathed. That was what mattered the most. Hey, just saying, you might have wanted to transfer it to, like, I don't know, a plastic bag, or, bag that's used more than once. It's where the plastic bags are once used, but anyways, and... what am I thinking? So it doesn't, rip out of the bag and break. Happy birthday, Ty. I'm sorry that the bag is so tatty. It's been through quite a journey getting to you. I presented him with the gift, as he looked back in confusion and uncertainty. After a brief window of hesitation, he gingerly accepted it, before reaching aside and grasping the neck of the bottle, sliding it free from the bag to reveal the label. In an instant, his eyes widened in surprise. He stood silently, staring in disbelief at the whiskey he held in his claw-tipped hands, before he finally shifted his gaze to me. His expression changed. This is... You must have... Ty cut his stammered sentence short, before closing his eyes briefly. A look of knowing sadness then spread from cheek to chin to brow, and he locked eyes with me, his lip wavering ever so slightly as he spoke the next words. Apollo gave this to you, did he not? Wait, who's Apollo? Sorry, I was just like, it would be kind of funny if you let that loose. He's the one who tracked it down, but he had me go to Summersvale on short notice to fetch it for you. I took the last train of the night and got stranded when I couldn't find accommodation. Was prepared to spend the night on the street, but thankfully Axe was in the town, visiting his parents. I spent the night with his family and came back this morning. I have been searching for you ever since. What did he tell you? Surely he could not have... I know about his immortality. Just saying, you might need to make sure your smartphones aren't next to you so that all of a sudden it's like... I mean, have you ever had that thing where you're talking and you're like, I don't know, hands hurt or something like that, and then suddenly the next thing you see on your phone is, do you want to look for gloves that help with arthritis or something like that? It's like, okay, people that are, watching me and listening in on me. And mortality, I know that you tore in an item, and I know that the sickness resulting from the pheromones caused the untimely end of your relationship, and an affliction that I know that I now suffer from as well. Again, I feel like Ty could have told the main character about the situation without, revealing too much. Just being like, hey, we used to be an item, we're not anymore. I mean, we still care about each other a lot, but, and maybe Adrian would be like, okay, that makes sense. I mean, I wish he would explain more, but okay. Or Adrian might just be like, and why can't you, or why aren't you, kind of thing. But still, it's like, I know the tale of his life, from the time in the bunker, to Dr. Marston, to Hades laying waste to his kingdom, from when he and Artemis reunited until his death divided them once again. And I know he came to Woodcrest soon after and became one of its 3 founders. I see. That sounds like the full story. He was very foolish to tell you all of this. If you so much as repeated the wrong thing, I know, the UMC might find him, and it might do something terrible to him. He told me all about that too. He trusts me to keep that secret. He told me because he regrets that secrets have caused us to split up. He wants you to be happy, Ty. Also, I wonder how we're going to tell everyone else, because we still promised to tell other people. Like, explanation. He always did. When he told me he was going to track down the bottle of this stuff, it was because he wanted to make me happy. He knew how much I wanted one, but I have searched high and low, and so have many others, all without so much of a modicum of success. Also, it is kind of weird that he was like, well, I believe somebody's searching for me, so I'm going to change these clouds on Google Maps or whatever to have Adrian come at me, bruh. Though it's like, I don't know, he could have just sent an invitation by mail or something. Just saying. I had not expected that he would be successful. To tell you the truth, I'd forgotten all about it. And that after all of that, he chose you to be the one to finish the job and present this gift to me. You said that you would understand. I do, and it would be more bittersweet than you could ever imagine. I actually saw him last night. He did not show that he had anything like this in the works. That wily raven. By now, you think I would have learned to expect such tricks from him. But yes, his message is loud and clear. He is saying goodbye. It is a gesture of finality, in that he had you be the one to deliver it conveys a similarly obvious message. A silence fell between us as Ty once again became transfixed. Staring at the bottle, he began turning it over in his hands, as if to check that it was a match for the many fond memories he had of it. As he continued, he spoke once again, without looking away from his gift. I know I told you of this place, but it seems highly coincidental that you knew I would be here on this exact day. Would I be correct in saying that Apollo was not the only person who aided in your arrival today? You're right. I completely picked someplace else. I was stupid. When I couldn't find you, I visited Lucas, and he helped me to figure out where you could be. You said you'd come here every year on your birthday, ever since your 17th. That is indeed correct. I know I told you about that day. Though, did you understand the reason why I came here? And so, I found myself at rock bottom, enjoying the silence in a spot overlooking Woodcrest one evening, and Lucas found me. He had brought cake with him. I had not realized it was my 17th birthday. I was glad he found me when he did. Whoosh. I did understand why Ty had come here that day. It was something much too horrible to imagine. The overlook ended only a few short meters ahead of where we stood now, giving away to a sheer drop, whose height caused my stomach to churn uncomfortably. Content warning. It was not fatal for anyone. It was not a fall anyone would expect to survive. I was gonna say, it's not fatal, but it's like, that doesn't make sense. I'm really glad that Lucas found you when he did. I'd hate to think of what might have happened if he didn't, or hadn't. As do I, my dear. As do I. How did he even know where to find you? That was really clever of him. I'm glad he was in the right place at the right time. Indeed it was. Do not let his often blunt and to the point nature fool you. In a battle of wits, I would receive quite the trouncing. What? Seriously? Seriously. People constantly underestimate him, and without fail, those people look like fools time and time again. It makes for an excellent entertainment. The answer to your question comes with quite the story. I will come back to that detail in due course. He had chosen that moment to comfort me, arriving in this very place. Despite the hard feelings between us, he dropped everything to be here, and in doing so, saved my life. I'm so very lucky to have him, and I'm so lucky to be alive. I owe him a debt I can never repay, despite his insistence to the contrary, and every year since, I mark the anniversary of that day by coming here to remember and to reflect. Usually I have company. Sometimes this is Lucas. Sometimes this is a partner, uwu. This was the first time in many years I've come alone. With everything that had happened, I suppose I needed some space. I'm not surprised Lucas knew I'd be here. I hope he understands. And perhaps the fact that company would find me regardless, with both Lucas and Apollo acting as catalysts, perhaps it's fate. Tai considered the validity of his implication, scratching his chin as he stared off into space. I didn't rightly know if I believed in fate. I wondered if it was not the case for Tai. Hey, Tai, do you believe in fate? Do you think their lives have some kind of meaning? I did once, but it was the very experiences that almost cost my life all those years ago, which have robbed me of such wishful optimism. I realized the insignificance of our existence, became cognizant that, in the grander scheme of it all, that maybe our lives, they have no meaning. Those were the very thoughts that haunted my perception of reality as I stood in this very spot 22 years ago today. Lucas gave me a reason to fight. And, with every triumph, I found a new philosophy, the same philosophy that guides my very action to this day. Though, in a strictly literal sense, our lives may well be devoid of meaning, that we may all be born lacking purpose, without a destiny to call our own, and that our fate may be nothing more than a wistful fabrication born from our inability to accept reality. But that is not the extent of it. Adopting a more spiritual perspective, I realize that we are arbiters of our very own destinies. That we possess the agency to ascribe meanings and purpose as we see fit, and that we alone decide our fate with the actions we make and the company we keep. And from my perspective, why wish for a hand that was dealt for us when we wish for the hand? Yeah. When we already possess the freedom to choose whatever cards we desire. We are free. And if you ask me, that is the most wonderful reality we could ever have wished for. That's a great stance. It sounds to me like you've spent a lot of time pondering the answers to those very questions. Indeed, coming closer to your demise has a habit of putting things in perspective. Those are the answers I came to sitting beneath the same tree. Words. I have spent a great deal of time here over the years. As a child, with Lucas and Gran, this is where we scattered our ashes too. This place means a great deal to me, though I admit I am the sentimental type, sentimental type. Adrian, have you ever gone back to a place from your childhood and found it no different from how you remember? It's such a strange sensation, almost like your memories have come back to life. Yeah, when I moved back to Cydonia for university, I drove out of the suburb where I grew up. I know what you mean about it feeling strange. It almost feels like reconnecting with your past self. Indeed, usually that feeling would fade with repeat visits, but for me, this place has always ushered those feelings with every single visit. I enjoy reflecting when I come here. Remember all the times I have come here in the past and all the things that have happened. Wouldn't it be remembering? Bright screen. Sorry. Boop. Just in case. The more things change, the more they only stay the same. And at the core, I'm still the same person who played here as a child, along with my best friend. The same person who would later come here to end it all. only for that friend to save him from his grisly fate. The same person who would only come months later to scatter his grandmother's ashes in these calming winds, saying goodbye to the only actual family he ever had. The same person who responded to his then lover's petty tantrum by ending their relationship once and for all. Who's he talking about? We're talking about us? I know that is what Gran would have wanted. I had not been happy by his side for quite some time. It was long overdue, and I'm still the same person who sat here and strummed his guitar while his best friend drummed a beat on his lap, using only his hands. Wait, who's he talking about? The resulting song became a single on our third album, believe it or not. Okay, somebody else, I guess. I have many memories of this place, some wonderful and some tragic. Anytime my life is in turmoil, I come here to clear my head, and to feel close to Gran too, to imagine what wisdom she would have imparted upon me if she were still alive. And today, your arrival and your spectacular gift, these two will become one of my many memories of this place. A wonderful one, I hope. With a gift as incredible as this bottle of whiskey, it could not possibly have been tragic, though I could not quite be sure that it will be a wonderful memory either. I suppose we still have much to discuss if we're to clear the air. Though I wish to show my gratitude, Adrian. It was wonderful of you to go to such lengths in getting this to me, and the gesture of being here with me on my birthday. It means a lot, so thank you, Adrian. Thank you. After screwing up as badly as I did, it's the least I could do. I'm committed to making things right, no matter what lengths I have to go to, and what that might mean for the future. I feel terrible about how I treated you. Also, we need to give him the bottle or vial of, the pheromones thing. Please, Adrian, there's no need to feel that way. I know your actions were not entirely your own, and believe me, I know exactly how that feels firsthand. To say that losing yourself like that is unpleasant would be a colossal understatement. And besides, none of that would have happened like it did if I had not gone so foolishly clung to the security that saying nothing brought. I so badly feared saying the wrong thing that I committed to not saying anything at all. And such a commitment is simply not comparable to a loving relationship. I couldn't believe I was so blind, and that Apollo took such a risk in telling you what I would not. He swooped in to clean up my mess, and because of that, I feel like such a damned fool. The burden of blame for that series of idiotic mistakes is mine to bear, and mine alone. Apollo is a wonderful man, and though I hate he took such risk for us, for me, I appreciate it more than he will ever know. Even now, a month following our separation, he's still looking out for me, just like he always has. Did Apollo tell you the story the first time we met? He was a patron of the bar, right? You two hit it off from there. That was, the first time I met Spencer, I suppose. As it would happen, I already had met Solomon a long time before. Really? I thought he hadn't used the name in decades. Exactly right. Our story takes place precisely 32 years ago, the day of the grand opening of Woodcrest Mall. Are we gonna see Baby Ty? We're going into, I'm not sure how long this is gonna go, but hey, we're kind of feeling like that might be I could either keep going and it could just keep on being long, or I could, just... I was trying to get something on screen. Or I could end it here. Okay, sorry. Mouse talking faster than brain. I could try and keep going, but it could turn into like an hour-long episode. Or I could cut it here and hope that, the rest of the scene might be fine. Or... I need another cup of tea or something. Having it that... The scene could be, like, talking with Ty and everything could be a bit over 30 minutes, or it could be an hour. Don't know. All I know is that, hey, if we cut it here, we should be okay. Hopefully. So, end of this thing. I'm going to start making an absolute salad of my words. So, please comment, because I like comments. Tell me what you like, dislike, tips, tricks. Otherwise, I'm typing a typo. If you like my YouTube and like to see it grow, then please like, subscribe, and share the videos that grow. And please remember to spay new animals to help control the pet population. And if you want to play this game, it's a little more free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newest version earlier, Patreon, $5 a month, paid for a year. I'm going to get myself a cup of tea. And until next time, let's say, me, GamerWolfSix, Sileo, Tales of the Dawn. So thanks and see ya.